across the start-finish line there, so he should be able to close back in again. The question is what that man can do. Luke Herbert in third position is now pulled clear actually of Will Stacey. Good restart for the top three cars actually. Stacey dropping back slightly in fourth. These were the three drivers that we expected to challenge for the title this year, and that exclusion for Blake Baldwin took him out of the championship fight. A real shame it was though, because can you imagine these three going head-to-head in the championship over the final few rounds? We're still excited by the prospect of a head-to-head between Herbert and Harding, but you throw James Blake Baldwin into the mix, and he is a bit of a loose cannon at times. You never quite know what he's going to do next. That makes it very exciting to watch him. Luke Herbert, though, is trying to get up the inside of him, and he's skating around under braking there down towards Tower Corner. I thought for a horrifying moment he was going to slam straight into the back of Blake Baldwin, but again, Harding is struggling now on the restart. Maybe it's taking a while to get the tyre pressures up, because on the initial start of the race, and now again here on the restart, Harding looks vulnerable. Blake Baldwin, though, is in the difficult position of trying to attack and defend, and the man he's defending from is Luke Herbert, who's right with him as they go down towards the sunny in right-hander. Two leaders go in on a tight line. It's been a very wide line though for the third place man, Luke Herbert. Wider, I think, than he intended to go, but he should be able to use the slipstream to close back in. They've really pulled away now from that almighty fight going on for fourth position now. Is Will Stacey still there, or has he lost? Where is Will Stacey? No, he's gone. Will Stacey's gone. So Aidan Hills is now in fourth position with Richard Wicklin fifth. So where is Will Stacey? Will Stacey, who took the restart in fourth position, is no longer in our shot. So that promotes Wicklin into fifth, Roberts into sixth position now. And Aidan Hills, who we've seen has been struggling for rear-end grip all weekend long, might actually be able to get a decent result out of this one. Across the line they go. I reckon 2 more laps to go. They might squeeze 3 in. And Jack Harding really having to defend now from James Blake Baldwin, who looks up the inside towards Clervaux, but it's a very, very difficult move to make from that far back, and it almost always ends in contact, so good job that he backed out of it. Blake Baldwin, if you're wondering whether or not he'll be thinking about driving carefully around the championship contenders, I can tell you now that I'm fairly certain that he's not going through the mind of the second place man. He doesn't care that these two are fighting for a championship. In his mind, he should be fighting for a championship with them as well, so he's going to go out there and try and prove a point. He pulls to the outside of Harding, under braking down towards Tower Corner. This could open the door for Herbert, who's sideways again under braking, but Luke Herbert might get the run on the exit of the corner. Look at that, gets himself up alongside James Blake Baldwin on the run down towards the Jim Clark S's for second place. Luke Herbert really wants to try and get through here and get on terms with the race leader, but he can't quite do it. Blake Baldwin hangs on, but they're definitely being held up here, aren't they, by Jack Harding in front of them. Through Barcroft, up the inside looks Luke Herbert, up the inside goes Luke Herbert. That was a really good move. He pulls a James Blake Baldwin-esque move on James Blake Baldwin himself, and Luke Herbert goes into second position. So battle is joined once again between the top two in the championship. There's nothing to choose between them in the points, and that's been reflected by how often they found themselves absolutely together on the track. Jack Harding has led this race pretty much since the start. Can Luke Herbert find a way through? We've got cars off, unfortunately. Number 62 is off, and that is Will Stevenson. There was another car involved, which I didn't quite spot, but the leaders come through, and we will get 2 more laps in. So 2 laps to go here, and the top 2 in the championship are the top 2 in the race, and they're less than a car length apart. As they go across the start-finish line, to the outside goes Herbert, to the inside goes Herbert. Jack Harding has it covered for the time being, though, into the braking zone, through the right-hander. Herbert, though, of course, has to be mindful of Blake Baldwin behind him. If he tries a move on Harding that doesn't work, then Baldwin will be straight up the inside like a rat up a drain pipe. So Luke Herbert and Jack Harding have to be careful about how they play this. Back out of the chicane they go. They both had a better run through there than Blake Baldwin, so they've built a bit of a gap up now over the third place car. Harding will have to defend again down towards Tower. Herbert will have to therefore go to the outside line, and this is perilous because this, of course, could bring Blake Baldwin back into play. It doesn't, though. It's all about the exit speed for Herbert. He's not going to get him alongside Jack Harding, but he's going to be virtually pushing the race leader down to the Jim Clark S's. This is all allowing, by the way, that phenomenal fourth place fight to close in, and I think Steve Roberts was going for fourth place then as they went through the Jim Clark S's. I'm not sure who's going to appear in the background. No, it's still Richard Wicklin. Roberts alongside Aidan Hills as the race leaders are side by side. Oh, Luke Herbert goes on the inside. There's contact between the two of them. They're both off wide, and James Blake Baldwin goes past the pair of them. Luke Herbert went for the manoeuvre. Contact was made, and not only has he got past Jack Harding, but so too 2 has Richard Wicklin. So all of a sudden, Luke Herbert is going to take the championship lead down to Donington Park, and he may yet be able to get more points if he can find a way back ahead of James Blake Baldwin. Through the complex they come. There's one more lap to go, and James Blake Baldwin has got himself back in the lead of the race by virtue of the championship contenders coming to blows. Jack Harding's lost another place now, I think, to Aidan Hills. It's all gone wrong for the man who looked set to take the championship lead into the final round, and now he'll do well to even be within a couple of points of his championship rival. Across the line they go, one more lap to go. Blake Baldwin leading the way, and Richard Wicklin is in a pony position already, and he wants more. He wants second place if at all possible. Down towards Clervaux they go. Herbert being given a real workover by the man who is making his, I think, first appearance this season in the championship. A former top 5 finisher is Richard Wicklin, and here he is challenging the championship, or reigning champion, and the man who potentially is about to move into the championship lead. Now Harding's not far behind though, and the red mist will have fully descended. Jack Harding in 4th position will be seeing what's going on in front of him and rubbing his hands with glee, because it's giving him a chance to close back in on his big rival. This ain't over yet. Out of time they go, and Herbert's on the dirt as he tries desperately to get the power down out of the right-hander. Down towards the S's they go. They're all back together again. James Blake Baldwin's escaping up the road, but for second on back it is anybody's guess. Herbert has it, Wicklin wants it, and Jack Harding needs it really in 4th position. He's closing all the time. Can he possibly get back onto the tail of his rival? He goes on the inside of Wicklin. Oh, there's more contact up the inside of Richard Wicklin, who's going to be elbowed out onto the grass. Jack Harding is absolutely furious with what happened a lap ago down at Sunny, and he wants revenge. He's right back on the tail of Luke Herbert as they go into the final 3 corners of what has been another sensational race. Stand well back, because this could be about to blow up right in front of us. Harding is with Luke Herbert into the final corner of the race. Blake Baldwin is going to take the victory, but that matters little really. It's all about the fight for second place in the championship lead, and Harding's up the inside line on next to the corner. They trade paint side by side down to the start finish line, but Luke Herbert is going to hang on. James Blake Baldwin takes a double race victory, but Luke Herbert hangs on by 1/10 of a second from a fired up Jack Harding. But you know what? Jack did the job there, because that was damage limitation. He could have lost about 4 or 6 points to his championship rival there. As it is, he will lose just 2 points